Your grades will generally be curved, scaled, or they'll just be standardly graded. No modifications done. I'll go over that option first. In my university, how grades are usually put out is if you get 95% to 100%, you get an A plus, and then 90% to 95%, you get an A, and so on. 85 to 90 is a A minus, etc. So this is standard grading. Whatever you get at the end of the semester, this is what grade you get. So if you get 87, you'll get an A minus. Pretty simple. And then there's scaling, which is if your class average is high or higher than normal, then what the professor might do is they might go, well, 96% to 100% is an A plus, and then 92% to 96% is an A, and 88 to 92 is an A minus. So they'll slightly scale up the grade, so you have to get a higher mark in order to get that letter grade. And then they could also do the opposite. If the class average is low, then they might do something like, for example, 94% to 100% is A plus, and then so on. So both of these methods, whatever your performance is in the class, you'll get the same general grade. You might be a difference of a B to a B plus or a B to a B minus, but it's the same general letter grade. Now if we look at grading on a curve, also known as bell curve or normative grading, this is where the class is marked competitively. So your performance in the class is determined by how well the rest of the class does. So if your class is not very good, then you'll do better. But if you're worse than the average, then you'll do worse. So we clear this at the top. So this point in the middle, right here, it's not a perfect bell shape, but it'll do. This is the average grade. Generally, from my experience, this would be something like a C plus, perhaps. And then from here, around here, approximately, is one standard deviation away from the average. So this is the average. It's approximately one standard deviation, which is how much the grades deviate from each other. And this part right here is 68% of the class is in this range. So it would be like a C, C minus, B minus, B. Those would be the most common grades to give out to students. And then if we went further, say to like here and here, that combined region is 95%. So from here to here, that's 95%. This portion was 68. And so this range would be something like D's and so on. This would be B plus A minus. And then the last 2.5% on the top and bottom is the most rare. This would be like A plus, very hard to get. And then a small portion of people will fail the class. And the professor will assign these grades based on your relative performance. So if you do around average, you'll be in this range. And then if you're above average, you'll be here, below here. So if you're above average student, well, if you're above average student, you don't really care which way you're graded. You'll get a good grade regardless. But if the class average is 50, you're getting like 60%, you could get like an A minus even though you got 60%. It's all about the relative grade of the class.